speaking of being frightened, do you remember when you proposed to your fiance and you thought you kind of knew everything, and she said, "You're gonna plan a wedding," and you're like, "Yeah, of course we are. Yeah, baby, I love you so much, baby." Well, I got to tell you, none of us are prepared. Women might dream about that special day. It's not even a thought. It's not. We see ourselves winning a Stanley Cup. We see, you're running a kickback. You're winning the World Series. Women think of their special day, and it's been in their head for like 20 years. So what do we do? Well, Tyler Cameron's come in. A Dude's Guide to Surviving His Wedding. And I got to tell you, this is the wedding season. This is the time. So you have picked it perfectly, my friend. You're just stuck right into that.
Absolutely, yeah. So guys, for the most part, have no clue what they're doing in general, let alone planning a wedding. And, usually they want to sit around and just watch the game. And news for you, if you're planning a wedding, you're trying to get into the good books with the missus, you kind of got to help out a little bit.
Yeah, and think about it this way, too. The cost.
Yeah,
like the guys will just painfully over what
it's so massive.
A power tool. Oh, I don't know, the steel chainsaw. It's got blah blah. This, they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah, how much is the average wedding now? Just give or take.
You're looking at between $35,000-$40,000. So it's funny, guys. As much input or lack thereof that they have with the wedding process, they do want to know about costs, beer, and the entertainment.
Right.
So that's pretty much what they're focused on during this process.
Now, do you also find that unlike when I was getting married, it seemed like between the ages of 20 to 25 seemed to be kind of not that aligned, guys around that age? But it's older now, isn't it?
It's getting a little older. People are focusing on their careers, and
yes.
And it's
yes.
it's more acceptable, I guess, for people to have kids a little later as well. So we just had another one, and yeah, it was well. You have two girls, I have two girls.
Yeah.
So it's guys are holding off as long as they can. Put it that way, and
there's
it's
reasons.
acceptable.
Career, sure. Now, what about you, Dave? You got married a little later, didn't you?
Got married a little bit later, yeah.
I was 25.
Yeah, see, I was like 38.
Yeah.
So it was like
you really held on to it. That's good.
It's also have to wait for the right one too, right?
Yep,
so
true.
Oh, sorry.
and you nailed it, Dave.
Thanks, Mike. Give me a background on the inspiration of doing this, because obviously, we laugh about it. It is a serious day though, and you're right. You have to walk gently through certain areas. I'll tell you about my part of it. I helped organize for the most part, and I want to show you this really quick. I'll show it personally. My main contribution was making sure that I got the wedding cake.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that the other day. Yeah,
the Stanley Cup.
That was a win.
That was a massive win. Yeah, so I basically said, you know what? We'll let you guys figure it out, but I want the Stanley Cup cake. And when we went to the different places, I said, these are the measurements. Give me your best shot. And the cake tasting and the food tasting that might be one of the best parts of the whole experience.
Oh, for sure. We actually did. So kind of coupling off that, my wife let me do. I'm a massive Blackhawks fan. So
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, but my wife, it was. It's a rough year last year. My wife let me put jersey numbers on all of. So I had a number 4, Jalmerson.
Yeah.
She really let me, expand a little bit into the hockey world. So that was a win for me. People are like, you're marrying the right girl. So yeah, I guess for me, the cake tasting and the food tasting is outstanding. We did a tiered cheesecake, cheese and crackers, because we're not huge cake people. But I guess the inspiration for the book would have been, I've been to about 50 weddings. I've been in 8 wedding parties. I was 3 best men under a year. I've DJ'd about 25 weddings. I used to DJ, so getting yelled at by brides' moms. And turned down the music, and oh my God, everybody's so stressed out. So
let me just, and I've done the same DJing back in the day. And isn't it the worst where you're hired by the couple, but the party, the parents, and friends of the family thinks it's their obligation that you have to play their song because they basically own you for the night. Meanwhile, you're hired by the couple to play their song. Oh, I hate that so much, and I'm so happy I don't do it anymore.
I was actually telling a story this morning where the bride came up to me, and she was like, I want to play this song. I don't know what song it was. It wasn't anything crazy. And the bride's mom came up to me and started yelling at me why I'm playing this song. I'm like, it's your daughter's day, not yours. So, but maybe she was paying the bill.
Totally,
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, but see, that we just went to a wedding, and it was awesome because they're a little bit older too. They got married, and here's the other thing they did that I really liked. the only speeches were from him and her. Now,
that's great.
Well,
that's unheard of.
And
that is unheard of.
He was hysterical, and then he played a Doors song and started running around the room singing it. He's a cop. He's a cop. I go, you are. I'm going to give you a ticket for being so awesome. Is what I'm going to do. And so I thought of some of the pitfalls that I see. Oh, the speeches.
Speeches
I just
are rough.
do not
You got to
want,
set a limit. And then the moms always go over, or the crying maid of honor, but you gotta. The key is too, if they're gonna be long, make sure you just do them through dinner, right? Don't do okay. We're gonna sit down, have this big dinner, and then have them all after. You got to get them going because people can start to tune out and start eating. And
the stories. It's like remember Becky?
Yeah.
We were in the Dominican Republic, and that's when I was like, oh,
inside joke, inside joke, inside joke.
Totally.
Yeah. And you're just like casually laughing if you're a guest because you're like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay. So what's fair to sit there and say speech wise? Obviously, one of the parents, yes.
Yes.
The couple,
yes.
And where do you go from there? Best man and
it's usually I would just do best man, maid of honor, the parents as a couple, not like dad's got this 3-minute speech, mom's got a 15-minute speech. Yeah. Give them a time limit. Be like, Mom, seriously, you got to cut this off after 3 minutes. We'll get the hook to drag you off.
We'll play the music.
Yeah, and then the couple, because then they're just gonna kick it off and be like, okay, now we're gonna party.
Yeah, let's party.
Yeah, so keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it through dinner.
Is it bad form? Because I can't think of the last time that I've seen this, but a cash bar.
I don't
know the last time I've been to one.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
You had?
No, I wouldn't never have a cash
bar.
I personally, I wouldn't. I know some people that do. Maybe they're getting married younger. I don't know. Usually, I mean, there's a whole part in here about budget, and I brought in an expert from CIBC to be like, if you don't have the money to do this, which maybe includes doing a cash bar.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good.
Yeah.
CIBC, good.
So maybe it's like, but I don't know. Maybe it's like a donation bar. But I mean,
but if you're bringing your friends and family, and you have that one big celebration of your life, basically.
I viewed it as a party that I wanted to bring everybody I was appreciative of and help. Like
you take the kick to the and you hopefully make it up with some of the cards.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I don't like. I would feel terrible if I'm inviting you to my wedding and I'm like, that's a $4 beer.
Yeah.
And that's a $5 rum.
That's
and
terrible.
I mean,
it just kind of it throws the whole vibe off.
It totally
too,
does.
Because also people used to be, like you said, you haven't been there or you haven't been to a wedding for a while. It was a cash bar. I think people just assume it's open bar now.
I would think so.
Back in the day, people used to be like, "Oh, am I bringing cash? Am I not?" I think for the most part, they're open bars, and people assume. And how do you ask that question if you're like, I don't know if it is?
It was at a golf course the last one we went to, and I'd never seen these signs before. And the first one shocked me.
No.
I was shocked.
What did it say?
So I went up and then said, little sign on the bar, because it's an open bar. No doubles, no shots.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I get it. No shots. We're not sailors. We're not coming to port in Singapore or something. Okay, I get that. No doubles? Do you know?
They did that at my wedding, no doubles. And I have buddies who drink whiskey. And they're like,
I'm a rye guy.
Yeah. How do I have a single rye?
So I'm having a rye and ginger?
Double is what he has when he warms up.
Yeah.
That's like...
So is there triples, though, maybe?
Yes, there
No doubles, maybe triples?
What, for me?
No, just in general.
No, in general, it better be. It's triples. There are some problems on this other side.
That's where you have to slip the bartender, a little cash and do the old wink.
Well, they eventually did
like,
because I think the dishwasher was going, "Come on," like because I was just there's too many glasses coming back.
He remembers the bartender. Yeah, that's a great part about this. Your wedding yourself, if you could rewind it and go, okay, I would have changed this, and this because obviously the book wasn't out when you were married.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
I don't know. I mean, there's a couple small things. I was also, just to preface it, my wife worked in the wedding space. So it was I was lucky to have all of that information. Hence why I also wrote the book, because guys like that there's not a lot of resources out there for them. It's mostly geared towards the females.
Sure it is.
But yeah, my wife was super instrumental with that. So she took care of a lot. I don't know, like the small things. Wish we had like a videographer. We didn't pay for one.
Right.
I wish there was doubles at the bar. They kind of got angry about that. I had some guys sneaking up to a room and pouring it. But yeah, ours was pretty good. I mean, we had a little inn spa kind of area because we wanted a huge party where we could just say, everybody go nuts. We didn't want any complaints from people at hotels or golf courses.
What was your number? How many people?
We had 248, I think.
We had around that range too.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit less. But
it seems to be about I don't know. I mean, I can't say the right size, but I mean, because I know Italians, that would be
no,
just the staff.
We have friends that went to a wedding this weekend that had 800.
Oh, that's insane.
That's ridiculous.
And that's Greek, though, right?
That's Greek.
Yeah.
But still, I married a Greek too, and we didn't have 800.
I've been to somewhere there's 80. And it's really intimate. And it's really cool. I mean, you have to really have a strict list, because there's a chapter in there about how you make a bunch of people upset about not inviting them.
Yeah, see, because that's the other thing too, is that if you're in a workplace and you're like, okay, well, you're gonna have some work people, and like, and then your wife's going, so Uncle Tom or little crippled Stevie, he's been waiting.
Not crippled Stevie.
He's got to be there.
He can't come in there. God bless everyone. And there we go. But all of a sudden, Devin shows up. She's like, "Oh, come on!
Yeah.
You've known him for 5 days."
Yeah. You have a strict list. You have to have a cutoff. If you haven't talked to them in a year, or if they're dating someone, you haven't even met them.
See, if I were to redo my wedding, there's at least 10 people on my side that I invited that I'm like, what the hell did I invite you for?
Yeah.
Really, I don't even talk to you now. Yeah. Why were you possibly invited at that time?
But then sometimes it's because those uncles and aunts, they came to that wedding and they were invited. And so all of a sudden it's like payback kind of. Or something.
It is. It's kind of like you got invited to somebody's wedding. You kind of have to invite them. And
sure.
Yeah. So it's you really got to pick your list wisely. It's a hard part of doing.
Worst idea you've seen at a wedding. The worst idea.
Worst idea at a wedding.
Inviting exes?
Inviting exes. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that one either. But
at my wedding, there kind of was a guy that I guess was all in love with Linda and stuff.
Oh, geez.
So I'm looking out there.
Did you bring him over to beat him up?
No. So I'm sitting there going, "Hey, high fives." Who's
I'm so not happy for you.
Who's crybaby?
It reminds me of the Heartbreak Kid, if you guys seen that movie, Fairly Brothers movie, where he just like goes to his exes and he's like, he dated terrible people before that. The father speaking, the guys turn around and he's like, that's you. That's all you. I don't know. I don't have any. I mean, usually it's
some people say like because they love Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever they like craft dinner like food choices sometimes. I mean, that's difficult because now we're getting back to budget.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually reserved for the late night table. If everybody's, inebriated and want to just have some chicken, or we did poutine, I think, which got very messy on the bus.
There was a poutine bar at the one we did, and poutine and cupcakes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was filling up on the way home.
That's not bad.
That was outstanding.
I've been to
outstanding.
I've been to one. Well, actually, no, I heard of one that at midnight they brought in like 300 cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Yeah, done that. I
would have done that. That's a great idea.
That's good. We were at one earlier this year. We had to go home because we have kids and we're boring now. But he works.
Welcome.
So he works on the Wendy's account. So he had Wendy's come in, and it was like
tremendous.
So we just went to Wendy's on the way home in the Uber instead.
Tyler, we're getting some messages live on our feed, our YouTube feed. What is the etiquette for gifts and cards? What is way too cheap for a couple to put in a card when they go to a wedding? What's the standard for a couple?
I mean, you're supposed to cover off what you're going to consume that night, whether that be food and alcohol, and then you want to, Well, if you can't have doubles or triples, it's a little cheaper.
Dude's bringing $1,000.
Yeah, so
there you go.
Whether it be 100, 150 per person, you're kind of.
Per person, really?
I would keep in mind the venue and where you're going. And,
yes.
And it's...
Okay, so
if they came to your wedding and gave you the same amount, you kind of want to make sure.
Yeah, send the receipt.
Look, I'm saying...
You want to cover off.
It's just, the meal, there's a salad that comes. Maybe it's the chicken or the roast beef, and the wine's going to be like Ontario or something like that.
Sure.
It would still be like 150, like you still would.
I'd say 100, 150. Yeah.
So it's like a three bills in that card.
See what
Wow.
What I kind of graded is on. Yeah, you're covering your.
I really am not very well liked in the last.
I think it depends on culture too. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's different. I mean, that's the cash thing. I mean, you can get around it.
Yeah.
This gift that looks expensive.
What I've kind of thought is you cover off what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink.
Yeah.
And then you even give a gift on top of it.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like not a gift as in here's a toaster. It's like here's an additional $100.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So my card with me and my wife is now $500 because plates these days are probably I'm guessing. I haven't been to a wedding in about a year. I'm guessing plates are about 150 a plate, 160 a plate.
Yeah.
Ours was 110 at the time.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
depends where you are too. Downtown Toronto is going to be a lot more expensive.
We were in Woodbridge.
Woodbridge.
Yeah. So what seems to be the wedding capital of the city.
Niagara on the Lake.
Yeah. Exactly. So you you cover the food, alcohol, and you're like, okay, and here's 100 from the couple. So it's like me and her go to it. It's $500. It's not cheap.
And babysitter.
Yeah, well then
now,
exactly.
if you can't bring the kids,
well,
that's a way to get around it too.
Well, we have right. It was
some people,
number one babysitter in the world. So
yeah.
Yes, you certainly do. I'll pay for that. I also, I'm thinking. So you put in $75 and then put your kid in the closet and give them Mr. Big. I mean, that's kind of what I do, and then drink $5,000 worth of their most expensive booze. It's like, who was that guy? Well, no. Once again, I will show the book, and so we can get as close as we can.
Where can they get it, Tyler? By the way,
on Amazon, you can just literally type in the title. Also, you can just go to tylercameron.com. All my information's there. Follow me. Find it on Amazon that way. Yep. Blogging on the side, all that fun stuff. A dude's guide to surviving his wedding.
Yeah.
So
that is awesome.
You know what? And 'tis the season, right?
It is.
We're in wedding. It's probably already started in probably May.
Yep.
It's going to go down to, I'm guessing, October-ish.
Yeah, I've been to 2 so far. I have 2 more. There's been times where I've been
you got way too many friends, man. I try to limit my friends at this level.
I know.
Yeah, really if you want to be my friend, no.
Yeah.
No, you're not my friend
I got
to
start doing that a little more.
It works.
And then the next book will be A Dude's Guide to Surviving Kids. So I'll pop back when I write that one.
You hurry up with that one.
Yeah, I know. You've already survived. If you haven't survived by now, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying alcohol for a lot of it, but apparently I can't write a book saying
that is the key.
Yeah, funerals, booze. Yeah. I mean, see what I'm saying? I mean, it just doesn't seem that hard.